Thing shop. We got all merchandise that you're looking for. Everything to promote the show. That's right, from hats to glasses to cups to sweatshirts to t-shirts, you name it. Boys, girls, babies, whoever wants to show off that they love watching the Beeline Entertainment LLC. We can't wait to see you in your brand new gear. Come on and check it out today. Let's go!
Oh, my bad. Thank you. Thank you, JC. Shout out to JC in the comments in the building already. But listen, we back at it. And Brian B's here. I was actually focusing on something. I'm going to address something real quick. I'm not too sure what's going on with Facebook. Facebook is, trying to keep us down or something, bro, because literally Facebook is not allowing us to, press live, man. So I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong. Maybe it was an update with StreamYard. But yeah, currently we are on Facebook, guys. I know that's one of the main locations where people watch the show, and they're not allowing it. I can't make it public. So Facebook, y'all really need to get y'all stuff together, because this is definitely affecting the people who are interested in the show. And but if you guys hear me now, or if you want to spread the news, I'm going to share the link on YouTube, because we are live on YouTube. We're also live on Twitch, and it's kind of frustrating, man, because Facebook is one of our biggest audiences, and I know that they enjoy watching the show every week. So we definitely got to get that fixed right there. It happened on yesterday, and now it happened again today. So I don't know until I go live, so I really can't do anything about it. But listen, man, we're still going to try to have a good show anyway, and we got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a really fun show. We're talking about, of course, movies and TV shows and stuff like that. We're actually talking about remakes and revivals and stuff like that, especially a lot that are coming out now and ones that have been already out that we're enjoying currently. But I'm not alone. Of course, I got my partner with me. But before we do anything, I got to let you guys know, please, like I said, head on over to YouTube. YouTube's probably going to be the best place where you can catch all of our material. Every show we do on the network. We do wrestling talk. We talk like news and different relationship topics and different things like that on the web show. And then of course, entertainment show on Thursday nights. We talk anything entertainment. But check us out on YouTube. We're everywhere. I'm even thinking about switching the show back over to YouTube exclusively until we hit another deal somewhere, man. Because Facebook be tripping, man. Facebook be tripping. It's definitely frustrating. But if you want a little bit more about us right now in this show, I'm going to give you the intro, because that shows you a lot. Let's go! There you have it. Yo, listen, we got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right into the combo. Coming in from the ep.58 podcast. Of course, he's doing big things. He's with me every single week. Definitely excited to have him on still. But you got my boy, Kyle. Eric, what up, Kyle?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right, man. JC in the comments, he said,
JC, what's up?
To your Facebook group, so they know where to find. Thanks a lot, JC. I appreciate that, brother, because Facebook tripping, bro. I know we talked earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what they got going on, but they definitely, you know what I'm saying? It's the thing about it, we talk about this a lot because we're both, creators, and we understand the frustration and the difficulties that come with doing this.
Oh, yeah.
things that are messing up that are not like that are out of your hands, like that's one. It's one thing you fuck something up, but if other people are messing up and you got to pay for it, that's the worst.
It's frustrating, yeah, especially since like you're in the middle of a conversation. Next thing you know, your mic gets muted, or or something starts fading in, or
Yeah,
then it and you have absolutely no control over it. The most you can do is turn it off and turn it back on again. That's
exactly.
that's it.
Yeah,
But
man, yeah, that really is it. But yo, listen, we here and we gonna make the best of it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us on Thursdays, man. Like I say it all the time. I love every show that I do on my network, but the Be Light Entertainment Show, man, you guys love that show. Numbers show between this and the wrestling show. You guys have spoken. You guys love our topics and you love what we talk about. And please, I really would love to have more people in the comments, man. If you guys want to join in on any topic that we talk about, jump in. Maybe even we'll look into getting people that watch the show or fans of the show on the show. Joining the conversation straight on live. So, man, I'm excited, bro. Everything is moving forward. I've been doing a lot of TikTok recently. I know y'all been seeing me, bro. I've been making videos, man.
I see. You've been doing more of the motivational stuff lately too, huh?
Yeah. I definitely. It's because I'm in transition right now, bro. Like I'm really trying to. I'm trying to be a little bit more positive. Like I really am.
Yes.
It's a difficult thing to do when you're like when you have timelines and you start having kids and you really start to understand and appreciate time a lot more, bro. But with that comes pressure. Because once you start realizing like, damn, I don't got enough hours in the day to do everything I'm gonna do. Or, damn, I'm too tired. And then you start to push past that. Oh man, I gotta eat something. There's days I forget to eat, bro. I'm just making some chips right now because I'll make something and I don't really want that shit. You ever had that happen? You hungry?
I have had that. I have had that happen. Usually I try to eat 3 meals a day, but there are days where I will forget, I will forget to eat. I'll have breakfast in the morning and then I'll get caught up with something. Next thing you know, I'll completely forget to eat. Or like one of my brothers, does he does Uber, he streams, he does a few things. He was over here today, and at some point we were just talking all day. Hours went by and I'm like, when's the last time you ate something, bro? And he's like, I hadn't eaten anything since I was with my dad this morning. Right. So I made him a quick veggie burger and then he had it out. But and he's he's trying to go to the gym after this. I'm like, man, you haven't eaten anything though?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Sometimes, I'm definitely a fan of fasting. Like, at least I used to be. When I used to work out, fasting was big. I used to fast 3 times a week, just to kind of clear my system, and then I would eat basic ass meals. I would eat, in the morning I'll have maybe like oatmeal and eggs, like real simple stuff, bro, like stuff that you can track easy. And that was when I was like really working out a lot. And, water, vitamins and pills and shit. But that was it. But
I mostly worked out to vent frustrations. You know what I mean? Like,
good.
I mostly worked out to vent frustrations. Like in high school, I used to work out a lot, and it surprised people because I'm short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would, I'm short and I'm skinny. So that was, that's what surprised a lot of people, to the point where my family was like, what's going on with Kyle? And my sister would be like, all he does is chill on the weekends and work out. That's it.
Yeah. When you go to the gym and you see like you said, like small skinny guys or whatever, and you look and you're like, you have this imagery like, oh man, dudes who are really strong, big powerhouse dudes are just gigantic and bulky.
That's what I used to think. Yeah.
Bro, you go and you see some skinny, small dude come up there and he just pushing. I remember we used to see stuff like that all the time. Small guys, man, and they push weight, and it's crazy because it's one of the most basic ways to show you, like, don't judge a book by its cover and everything.
Exactly.
I remember seeing stuff like that all the time.
Man, I saw this video of a guy as skinny as me. He was skinny as me. He had CP like me, but he could he was deadlifting, right? I don't know where
too, right?
I don't know where that strength came from, but it was like, man, the dude was deadlifting. I'm like, big ups to you, bro. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah, man.
Mm.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to do a little bit more. Yo, hey, listen, Beeline. Between me and you, I'm trying to make something, bro. I'm really trying to make something. I'm proud of what I have. But yeah, I mean, I've been talking on my shows recently. Like I've definitely been job hunting a little bit lately.
Mm.
You know, and stuff like that. I'm having to go back into the work field a little bit. Wifey about to have the baby, so I got to take on a little bit more, you know, money roles. And I've been venting a little bit online, like, you know, with these posts that I've been making about how I don't want to be a clown. I don't want to be a damn clown, bro. I don't want to jump on the screen and do all this crazy shit to try to entertain people. Like I'm not looking for that kind of publicity.
Attention? No.
Yeah, I'm not, bro. Like you see these people. I saw this guy today, man, and I know a lot of people have you know, we've spoken about things like this in the past, but there's a dude on TikTok, man. He goes into stores, he goes in like Walmarts and different places and stuff like that, Target, and he pours fucking cereal and milk all over himself, all over the fucking floor. And he goes, "Oh, you gotta be true," and he tries to give like a positive message while he does it.
I mean, that's not positive. That's clowning.
Bullshit, bro. It's
That's
just like,
that.
yeah, I can't stand stuff like that, man. It's just like I don't like the kind of attention that people try to gain from other people's expense. I hate that shit. I've never been a fan.
Absolutely. I understand. You know, I get that.
Thanks, JC. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I get that it's a very like I get that the internet's competitive and we're ultimately competing for other people's attention, right?
Yeah, we are.
But you want it to be for a good, you know, for a good reason. I'm not trying to come out here and just make a fool out of myself or other people just to get views and get some attention. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to be informative. You know what I mean? And trying to learn. I'm also trying to learn from others. But that's a lot of times that's not what gets hits, you know, and that just shows where where we are as people. We prefer the clowns over just regular casual conversations like these, or just like what you did this morning, talking about being more positive and everything. You hit me with 2 videos this morning, and it would just seem like you just wanted to get that off your chest. You wanted to help other people. That was it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like, it's one of the things where I think one of the first videos that I said, I just, like I said, one day I kind of woke up. Me and my wife have been talking about stuff recently, and I just woke up and I was just like, the first thing I thought about when I woke up was, oh, I got to do this. I got to remember to do this today. I got to remember to do that today. Like instantly, my brain went into business. I got to take care of shit. I got to get shit done. And as I'm passing by, when I come down my hallway from my room, whatever, there's a big window that we can't reach. I don't even know why it's in our house. I've never touched it. I've lived for 5 years, but it's always need a big ladder to touch it or whatever. But on the way downstairs, like you see outside, like it's the first thing you see. It's just outside. And I was coming down, and it was just really nice out, man. It was a nice day. You saw the trees with the green on them. And it was a really nice morning, bro. And as I was walking down the stairs, I was looking outside, and I was just thinking, like, damn, I thought about everything. I had to do in like the span of like 10 minutes, from waking up to, pissing and getting clothes on. And then it's like I completely forgot to remember, like, damn, I'm up today, man. Look at this beautiful day, bro. It's beautiful outside. Let me go outside.
Got to go outside and smell the flowers and embrace the fresh air. And it's it's summer. The summertime is like, it's not upon us completely, but over here, it's been in the 80s with barely any rain. Like, we've been getting like rain back to back.
Yes, sir.
And yesterday I was at the hospital. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday,
shit. What happened? You good?
I was at the hospital getting a checkup, just getting a regular checkup, right? So I'm at the hospital, and the facility I was at, I was with my grandmother and I was with my aunt, right? They're usually like with me when I have these appointments, right? So they're like, okay, let's set up some x-rays and the radiology lab. In order to get to the radiology lab, you had to go across the way, the way, and they had plants, they had like a bridge, there were, people out and about walking, getting some, it was a beautiful day, you
Yeah.
know
Oh yeah.
so we just took the long way and walked to the radiology lab. You had to go outside before you got there. And it was just the way it was set up. It was just so beautiful. So we just took it, we just took it in, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just one of those, it was just really just one of those good days. Even
Yeah.
today was muggy as heck, but still a good day, you
Yeah.
know?
No, I feel you, bro. Yeah. Sometimes just your perspective change can do wonders for you, man.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm just choosing to talk about it a little bit more. And of course, adding in the engagement, just posting more is one big thing that I'm really trying to get involved in. I've always considered myself as somebody who I post a lot, man. I definitely post a lot of clips. I post
Mhm.
a lot of different things on the channel, on my social media platforms. But I'm trying to do more. I want more.
Yep.
It's never enough at this point, and I'm paying attention to a lot of different people online, and you can see, man, if you really do get there with engagement, as long as you stay consistent,
As
it's
long as
not all you need.
consistency.
Yeah, it's not all you
Yeah.
need. You can get on there and just like be the most boring person in the world. The time is 4, 5, 7, 6, and people just be like, all right, let me turn this shit off. They're consistently turning your shit off.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be engaging too, but
Yeah, yeah.
that doesn't mean do everything that everybody else is doing,
That's
you
right.
know?
That's right. All right. But Kyle, listen, bro, we got a great show for these guys today. Yo, we talking about some things that I think, definitely get a lot of shine, especially in the movie industry,
Yep.
and TV, because remakes, man, remakes.
Yep.
Making a movie over. What is a remake? A remake is a movie that's been out in the past, and it grows with technology. Maybe it's a older movie that was a hit, or maybe it's a movie that you've never even heard of. Maybe it's a movie that was from a book and then it was in a movie and you don't even know. One thing that I learned when I was doing this, like the research for this show,
Yep.
there's a lot of movies that are out that
Yep.
I didn't realize were remakes from
Yeah.
older classics.
Oh yeah, a lot of them, a lot of them were from like old Hollywood, and then they redid them, and then years later they would redo them again,
That's right.
know,
Yeah, you
and
lose track.
exactly, you lose track. A lot of stuff are from books. A lot of the things that that Hollywood was, they brought a lot of licenses and stuff
That's right.
from books. So a lot of stuff you don't even realize it until like years down the line. Like, how many times they remade Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella,
Bro, so many times.
Jurassic Park and Die Hard were all based on on books.
I didn't. Jurassic Park, I did know about. I remember that when the movie first came out, when I was in elementary school. I remember somebody had pointed that out.
Mhm.
But I forgot until you just said something right there. But damn, that's right. Jurassic Park from a book as well.
Jurassic Park surprised me. I thought that was 100% original.
So did I. What the hell is original, bro? That's a show we need to do, like 100% original movies.
What does that mean? Like I've realized a lot of things are derivatives of other things.
Yeah.
Just, if you find, like, when you find out, it does shock you a bit,
Yeah.
but it's cool. But it's cool to find. It's cool to find out. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some work, some don't.
Yeah, absolutely right. But yeah, guys. So we're gonna kick the show off. We don't have a watch list today. They're pretty sure there's gonna be some soon. I know Squid Game is coming back out. We talked about a bunch. I have watched a couple movies. I've watched a couple different TV shows. But to be honest with you, nothing like super crazy. I do want to start doing some of the watch lists with just older movies that I've watched that I've kind of watched again. Kyle, before we're going to jump into the revivals first, like the TV show revivals. But before we jump into that, let me ask you, bro.
Yep.
When you're going to watch a movie, like when you just get the urge, and you're like, hey man, I ain't really doing nothing. Let me kill some time. Sometimes I do it just to relieve stress. How long does it take you to find a movie, bro? How many subscriptions? How many apps? What are you doing, bro? Like, 'cause I'm trying to figure it out.
These days, sometimes I will go through like 3 or 4 different apps
Telling you,
looking
man.
for, and sometimes I have a movie on my mind that I really
Yeah.
want to see, but it's not legally available.
I
You
got you.
get what I'm saying? So
I got you.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking. Okay, like the other day, I had an urge to watch a movie that I would watch annually. It was called Go the Distance with Drew Barrymore. Right? And
Man, I remember that the baseball.
uh, no, that's Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch.
I
That's
love
right.
that
That's
one. I
right.
love that one too, and I do watch that one annually.
Yeah.
But and that was on HBO Max for a minute, so I had to I had to watch that. But Going the Distance is her and I believe Justin Long, and they play a couple, a long distance couple.
That's right. I remember that
Yeah.
movie.
So yeah, I would watch that. I would watch that annually. So I had an itch to watch it again, and then I couldn't find it. So I go on, so I go to Google to see what's going on, and it was on Amazon, but through a paywall. I'm like,
Yeah, man.
what's the deal? So
Yeah, I hate when you see it like you say, especially when you have a movie in your head and you're thinking
yeah,
about it, and then it's like you go and look for like because most people most of the time you have a couple of apps that you're paying for. Whether it be Netflix, whether it be Hulu, you got a couple that you're paying for. But then there's also a lot of free ones.
there's a
So
lot of free ones, and
yeah,
I know people out here that have like the Fire Stick or they get the hookup. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
So, but yeah, there's so much stuff out there now. Like we've talked about this before
yeah.
when we were kids, when our parents were kids and their parents were kids. What's
What's
going
up,
on,
brother?
cuz? It was a lot. That's my cousin Rick.
Yeah,
Um, there was a lot of the selection was just 1, 2, 3 channels, right?
that's right.
We come up. It is movies and like 99 channels, but there's nothing on. If
Nothing on.
and now
Yeah.
we got all these streaming services, and still, you get fatigued looking for stuff.
That's right. Yeah, you really do. And that's why I even asked the question because a lot of times, because of all the options, like sometimes, like you said, a movie I really wanted to watch and I still haven't found it because you got to pay for it and I'm not paying. Like, sometimes if it's like $2, maybe I'll pay on Xfinity or something like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, if I can't find it for free and I can't find it online, like I just won't watch the shit. And then I'll try to find something else, but I already had something geared up in my mind. So, it takes me sometimes like 15, 20 minutes to find a movie, bro.
And then
I'm on
sometimes
Netflix, Max, all of that shit. Like,
sometimes
crazy.
I'll be like I'll have stuff on my mind. I was watching this movie a couple of nights ago called Sweet and Sour. It was a Korean movie called Sweet and Sour, right?
Okay.
And I liked the premise. It was these two that that they met while the main male character was in the hospital, and he falls for a nurse. He falls for his nurse. They form a relationship, and you see how the relationship changes as they change, right? And I had that on my mind, but at first, with that title, I thought they were talking more about food.
Yeah,
Right?
Sweet and Sour.
Until I started watching, and they were like, "Oh no, the sweet and the sour parts of a relationship."
Wow.
That's what they were talking about. I'm like, "Oh, man,
That's word manipulation for you.
that was wordplay. That was wordplay."
You was geared up to watch some Chinese takeout movie shit or whatever.
And it's a commentary on relationships and being there for your partner and neglecting and changing and all. I'm like, yeah, that was actually pretty deep.
Yeah. Listen, I'll start a movie. I'm the type of dude. It'll take me 20 minutes to watch it, to try to find something, and then when I find something, a lot of times when I'm looking for something that I didn't watch already. I don't like to. I'll rewatch shit. Like if I'm in the mood, I'll definitely rewatch something. But I'm looking for something that I didn't watch. It's nothing like experience something new. So it's like if I'm watching something and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna check this out. I've never seen it before. But if it's ass, you got like 15 minutes before I'm turning it off, bro. I'm like, especially like I said, I got my time is important. So it's like if I'm gonna watch a movie, I know I'm dedicating 3 hours to watching the movie because it takes me 20 minutes to watch it. If I go to the bathroom, I'm pausing it, I might get a phone call, whatever. So it's gonna be about 3 hours. But if it's ass, yeah, you got like 15 minutes, bro. If something happened in 15 minutes where I'm not into it or engaged, or there's a pretty ass girl in there or something like that to keep me watching, bro, I'm turning that shit off immediately. And then back to 20 minutes of surfing.
Can I ask you a question? I was talking about this with my brother earlier today. Have you ever walked out on a movie in the movie theater?
Hell yeah, a bunch of times. Yeah,
a bunch of times.
I've walked out. Well, the one that I'm thinking of that's always so clear, and I know this makes me sound like an asshole, but this really happened. I was on a date. I was on a date with a girl, and we were watching Zach and Miri make a porno or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so we was watching that, and the chick that I was out with. This is right around Halloween though, and the chick that I was out with, I wasn't really attracted to her, but I met her at a Halloween party thing, and I needed a ride to work, and my job was right in the same complex as the movie theater. So she was like, hey, you want to hang out? I was like, yeah, we can go to the movies, knowing that I can just leave from the movies and go to work right there. And I tried, bro.
You were just looking for a ride? You went out with her just so you'd have a ride to work?
For real, yo. And I left her ass right now. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. And listen, I left, yo. I left right in the. I don't know if it was the end, but this is why, yo. It was like she wanted to like kiss and stuff like that. And I'm telling you right now, I really wasn't feeling her. Like I wasn't feeling her like that. And I think we did a little something, but I just was not into it. So she kept like every time, you feel somebody's watching you and shit. And I'm over here like trying to watch the movie and just be into the movie, and I just see it, and I'm glancing over like, okay, and she's whole fucking body just looking straight at me. I'm like, okay, I gotta leave. I was like, where's the exit?
Wow. So, but I gotta, but that had nothing to do with the movie, did it?
No, the movie was definitely pretty good.
I've seen that movie, and it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad.
It's all right. It's a nice movie to have on in the background. You know.
Message a link to our whole Real Thoughts and Beeline crew that I have on my list, bro. Okay, awesome, bro. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro. When I get off of here this week, this is the last show of the week, Beeline, of course. I'm gonna figure out what the hell's going on Facebook, yo, because it is pissing me off. I'm hiding it well. I think I'm hiding it well, but it is pissing me off that we can't have our regular audience, Facebook family, man, able to watch this right now. But yeah, I appreciate you hitting everybody up, bro. Facebook, we gonna figure it out together, guys, because and we do got people watching, so I appreciate JC hitting everybody up, and I spread the YouTube link around as well. But yeah, Kyle, man, I have left a couple movies. I think I left one I remember when I was younger, the movie Phenomenon. I don't know if you remember that with John Travolta.
I remember seeing the previews of it. I don't actually remember. What was it about?
He had like powers. He had like certain. I was young, but my grandfather took me to see it, and I wanted to see it because I just loved like superheroes and shit like that or whatever.
Yep.
So when we got there, like it turned out to be like some really dramatic drama movie. It wasn't even like he had a little bit of power, but it wasn't like it was like the movie that I kind of thought as a kid.
Yeah.
I turned to my grandfather. I was like, "This." I was like, "I'm poor. I don't like this or whatever." And we left that movie. I remember that.
Oh wow!
First movies I went and left, but yeah. I mean, have you ever walked out of any?
I can't remember. I cannot remember walking out of a movie. I can remember changing the channel because I didn't like the movie that was on. Like after
that's too easy.
like that. Yeah, that was too easy. If I paid for the movie. Even if the movie was I was just talking to my homeboy about this, right? I paid to see Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh man,
right?
I heard that. I know that was
no, that movie trash.
That's one of the top worst.
I defended the movie. It was getting dragged online. I defended the movie the day until the day it came out. I was defending it for months, right? It was getting leaked on top of leak on top of leak. And then I was like, nah, I'm still seeing it. I'm going to review, it. It's Dragon Ball. I'm a fan. I got to go support it. Right. I go to support it. There was like two people in the theater. There was like two people in the theater. I paid full price for it. I'm watching it and so much regret went through my face. It was that and and Street Fighter: Legend of Chun-Li.
I saw both of those.
I have seen some bad movies, and I did not
Capital
walk.
Garbage trash.
I did not. I did exactly.
Yeah.
I just did not. like Dragon Ball Evolution, especially to a Dragon Ball fan. That is a punishment film.
Oh
That
yeah.
you know.
Well, it's also, remember that time period, like when all those came out, like whether it was
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, that the live action version, the Street Fighter, the Chun-Li movie. Then you had, what was it? Wasn't it like the Tekken movie came out around that time? I think it was like 2011 as well.
You know what? Surprisingly enough, the Tekken film was okay.
It wasn't as bad as like the other one, but
exactly. That was not as bad, and plus it was an indie film, so I kind of gave it some leeway. You know, I kind of gave it some leeway. They had the Dead or Alive film, in which
that's right.
You know, and it was just, I mean, it had a good cast.
Yeah, they had that whole time period was jacked up because it was the writers strike.
The writers strike.
Yeah, and all the animation for those movies, like everything they did, it was that weird ass crouching tiger, hidden dragon. Everybody seems like they're on strings type shit. And that's how everything was like being choreographed. Like I really couldn't stand that period. There was a couple movies that was like that was just like using that same kind of choreography where they were like floating, and then you had like the weird digital effects that you could tell were digital effects. And I'm just like, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah, no like they wanted everything to be. They wanted everything to be a spectacle, like you know, a couple years later down the line, where every movie had to be in 3D.
That time period, and all they did was rely on it being 3D, and all the movies sucked.
That's it. Not everything was made for 3D.
That's right.
You know,
Resident Evil. What the hell? Which one was it? The Resident Evil. And keep in mind, like I'll go back and still watch it. Like now, I'll go back and watch it. But when I went to the theaters to see that shit, I was mortified, bro. I'm like, first of all, you're gonna finally have Chris and like, you know, all these guys in it that's from the game, but no kind of connection. Nobody's really even like, you know, key players in the actual film. It's still the same bullshit dialogue. I'm just like, this movie's ass, bro. And so the 3D era was not a good era for movies.
That was not the real 3D era was just. I know we're trying to make money, okay? Yeah. But you couldn't say cash grab anymore if you put it on your freaking forehead and had it on a billboard. Cash grab. Oh, we're just gonna add 3D when there was no 3D and no 3D effects in the movie. On top of the fact that unless you are in an IMAX theater or in a place with a big, you know, like a bigger screen, like I like to sit in the back, right?
Yeah, I like to sit in the middle.
I like to sit in the back. Sitting in the back of a 3D movie does not work.
Nope. It's just, it doesn't pop out. I don't know if you've ever been to like, you know, whether it be Disney World or Busch Gardens or any places that have had a real like legit 3D show where it's like the stuff pops out of you on the screen. You feel the water when the water splashes off the thing, and bro, that shit is phenomenal.
That was dope. I remember I was at Universal Studios, right?
Yeah.
I was at Universal Studios with my family, and they had the Shrek 4D ride, right? So it was like Shrek 4D was everything in the theater was interactive.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm watching them go after a ghost Farquaad, and Shrek is you know, like all up on the screen, and everybody is doing their thing. At some point, Donkey sneezes, so they splash water on us. It was a whole interactive experience.
Yeah, I love
it. And that was worth having the 3D glasses over my glasses.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. You wear glasses. Yeah, you forget it.
I'm a brother that wears glasses regularly. This is not for style. I'm very nearsighted. So imagine I'm in the back of a theater of a 3D film, and I have no choice but to have the glasses on the whole time. Yeah. That just gives me a headache.
It's just not fun. Yeah. I never. At one point, you had to pay more money for a 3D movie, and then it's just like once I realized, like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, I'm not even interested in it. And then I'd go into a regular movie and just start trying to find the ones that weren't 3D anymore. And then, isn't it crazy that we thought at one point that 3D was going to be like, that was going to be the newest thing?
That was going to be it works sometimes. Like when I saw the first Avatar, when I saw the first Avatar film, I went with a group of I went with a group of people I went to school with, right? And we were running a little late, so we had no choice but to, because that movie was selling out.
Oh yeah.
We had no choice but to go to the 3D one. So we go to the 3D screening, and we all sat in the middle. The 3D effects, they were glorious if you're sitting in the right spot.
Yeah, you gotta be a chemist and shit like Big Bang Theory.
Exactly.
Know how to utilize it the best.
That moment where Sheldon is looking for the acoustic sweet spot and going, yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was like me.
Yeah, I'm good.
But you know what? At that point, it was worth it because that movie was built for 3D. They had 3D in mind when they made the film, but everybody was putting 3D on everything that did not need to. It was like putting a fresh coat of paint on something that was already painted.
Bro, when they made Jackass 3D, I was like, okay, yeah, these motherfuckers is just doing too much.
I mean,
for what? Come on, yo.
But you know what? I didn't get to experience this in the theater, but the Harold and Kumar Christmas movie.
I didn't even watch it.
That was in 3D. That was goofy, but it was what you expected from the Harold and Kumar franchise.
Yeah,
and
I loved the first Harold and Kumar, and after that, even the Guantanamo Bay, I was just done.
The Guantanamo Bay,
the Hangover too, the Hangover one too. First
because they kept repeating the same beats from last time.
Yeah,
you know,
I was just over it.
Yeah,
but yo, listen. Speaking of good movies and bad movies, let's go ahead and kick this episode off with some of the topics we got today. And of course, one of the first ones we're gonna jump into. I think this will be a little less time than the other topic. That's what are some of the best TV show revivals that we have seen in recent years, man? Or even past time. Kyle, I was really curious to see like some of the ones that you really like, and I know there are some that are actually coming out from older shows.
Yep.
What's a couple of just run a couple of them that you enjoy that came out from previous shows that you watched
from previous shows. I got it. Like you and I talked about this before. I enjoyed Fuller House.
Yes,
really
good show.
I really enjoyed Fuller House. It wasn't like, perfect or nothing like that, but it was, it was wholesome. It was, it was like wholesome, but you could tell it was a bit more adult. Like they snuck a lot of, jokes in there that they wouldn't have done back in the 90s. There was a few drinking jokes, masturbation jokes, sex jokes, all of that was in there. And I think it's also because I'm an adult now. So I can catch that. They're not hiding nothing. But
exactly.
But one of my favorite revival shows that got cut off at the knees was Thundercats in 2011.
Really? Damn, I didn't even know they came out again.
So here's the thing. So in 2011, they made a big deal on Cartoon Network that they were going to bring back Thundercats. It was going to be, a bit darker. It was, the story was going to be a bit more dramatic. The animation was going to be, different, and they were going to bring back some people from the original show.
Yeah.
And they gave us 26 episodes, and they cut it off.
So you said Thundercats? What was it on? It was
Thundercats
on Netflix?
Thundercats 2011. It was on Cartoon Network. This was this was before the streaming boom. But and they had Will Friedle playing Lion-O, a young Lion-O, right?
Okay.
And it was a really well done show, and it was very anime-esque. But part of the reason it got cut off at the knees is because number one, the timing, like action cartoons were not as popular anymore, and also parents were
crazy to say,
right?
Crazy, man.
And parents were complaining that it was a bit too dark, and I disagree. The story was epic. It was an epic. You can still watch it, but it doesn't have a ending, and I hate that. But
I'm gonna
another.
I'm gonna jump
Yeah,
in real quick and just
go
kind
ahead.
of
Go ahead.
piggyback because there definitely have been a lot of shows that I've watched. One of the earlier ones recently, because Rick said Fuller House. That Fuller House is one of the ones on my pick too. I really enjoyed the concept.
Yep.
I enjoyed the concept. It was one of the first ones besides Boy Meets World, who came out. I think that Girl Meets World came out before Fuller House did.
I think
And
they no. I want to say they were out pretty much at the same time, but
same
I don't know.
time,
I think they were. I think they were out pretty much at the same time.
yeah,
But what?
because
But what did you think of it?
it was, I mean, Girl Meets World was okay. I like the thing I like about the revivals that come out is I like when they stretch the story. Like I like when
Mhm.
they go from, okay, we're not just remaking it and then you have like kind of a new family or like, maybe it's their family, but it's none of the original cast.
Mhm.
Fuller House was full throttle, bro. If they brought everybody back, they made it very relative. They switched the roles. They, of course, they put, instead of having, Danny Tanner and Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey, then you had the three girls. You had Aunt Steph, you had
Yeah.
DJ, and you had
DJ
Kimmy.
and Kimmy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the roles were reversed, and it was still following the concept of the show. Like you said, it was a little bit more adult. You had some catchy humor. You saw Stephanie grow up, and you were like, "Oh shit, look at Stephanie growing up." And it was definitely a good show. It was
Yep.
also a good show. I rocked with it all the way to the end. The last season kind of fell off a little bit, but the first couple seasons were really good, man.
They did a good 5-season run.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah, it
they
was
did a
legit.
real they did a really good 5-season run. It I think it surprised a lot of people.
Yeah,
Because this is a show that was continuing a concept from more than 30 some years ago. So it's like, do you lean into the fact that it's modern day? You don't really have a choice. Let the girls grow up, see what they're up to,
yeah.
today, but also make it's still a family show at the end of the day, you
Yeah,
know?
it really is. When you talk about family shows, like the difference between like the '90s and the TGIF era and everything like that. Like
Yeah,
now, I mean, everybody's got a little bit more material that they're looking at a little bit more frequently than you used to. You have
true.
all the advancements of the internet at your fingertips to kind of see things that we never saw when we were kids, even.
Yeah,
So being able to kind of have a show that kind of dives a little bit deeper and still kind of remain in the realm of, hey, we're still family friendly. Like they still dealt with family related issues, and
of course.
So I mean, yeah, I think Fuller House was one of the best ones that really got it right. To flip the script and talk about ones that I think got it wrong. I don't know how the hell this has happened, but I just it left my brain while I was
Hmm.
thinking about it right now. I was just thinking about it, but it'll come back to me. But there are definitely ones that also got it wrong.
Hmm.
Um, Other shows that did it right were I think I loved when Roseanne came back on, bro. I, I was so pissed when all that shit happened with her, saying dumb shit on Twitter
Yep.
and everything, and then they
Hmm.
canceled her out, and then they just made it the Connors. Even though the Connors was still a good show,
Hmm.
I didn't get too much into it, but I still saw it. But I loved Roseanne when I was a kid, bro.
I no, I did too. Like I would like because the I think what it is, it was blue collar family, and Roseanne spoke her mind, but also
Yeah,
you saw things that are a little different than the average sitcom. And I see people complaining about it today like it never happened. It was a blue collar couple, and they were not slim, they were not like fit or
that's
anything.
right. Yeah,
It,
it
it
wasn't
was
all like Hollywood. It was literally just like a
no,
regular kind of family.
it just felt really just a regular family. It didn't feel like Hollywood. Fast forward some years, they bring it back, and then Roseanne did what Roseanne did. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly, I lost, not all my respect for her, but a lot of my respect for her at that point. And then
Yeah, just being
then
reckless and wild. Apparently,
yeah,
she's always been like that, but it
she's
was like,
always she's always she's always been like that, and that's the thing. And then watching the Connors, where where Dan and the rest of the girls, they had to pick up the slack that was left out when Roseanne was kicked off. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, but I kept watching it because it still felt like what I remember. They just had to, they just with a bit more on a modern, on modern day,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was still a good show. I mean, at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out, when they started bringing back all these shows, especially the ones from the past. Like, I was trying to see which ones I was going to be interested in reviving. One of the ones I was super surprised at how good it was, and this one also kind of fell off the last season that I just watched, was Bel Air, man. Bel Air was incredible, bro. It wasn't really like I guess it was a revival, but it was like one of the ones that
it was
a
a
revival.
Straight up and down reboot. Like
straight reboot of and they did it so well, man. Like the story was
turning it into a drama. Like it turning it into a drama was I will say a gamble, because you're gambling with people's nostalgia of it. But
man, with Will Smith, Fresh Prince, one of the hottest damn theme songs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
And then
go and do that well.
You did that well. I do feel like now this is just me. Sometimes I feel like with these streaming shows, because they're on streaming, and you can not only do more, you can say more.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
People can drop F-bombs. They can spend a good a good chunk of a scene cursing. And sometimes sometimes I feel like they were just dropping the F-bomb just because they could. They wanted to see how many they could drop in one episode.
Yes. Why not?
Freedom!
They're not gonna worry about syndication and all that shit. Nah, man. I mean, but to the point too, Kyle. I mean that it made it real. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing I do like. Like even with Fuller House, they were saying hell a little bit. Like you didn't hear that shit back on everything's all super family wholesome. It made it a little bit more realistic.
And they made sex jokes early on.
Right.
Like it was like they showed you that Stephanie ain't just she's grown up and she's gonna show off her body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I saw that.
And I was like, hold on, I grew up with you.
I know. Get in trouble. How rude. That's all we knew. That's all we knew. Ty said, "Hey guys, the iCarly revival and Raven's Home." Yeah, iCarly revival. You know what's crazy? My daughter loves iCarly right now, man, and she watches it on Pluto TV. They play just back-to-back episodes of iCarly, and she loves it, and I am watching it with her every now and then. I just like iCarly too. iCarly's a good show.
The iCarly revival, like the iCarly revival, I have to say, I enjoyed it. It did show that they were a bit more adult. Sometimes I feel like the adult humor was a little forced, to be honest.
Trying to make money away from it. They're like,
even though
not
they're still
anymore, guys.
Like they're still on the same network, but now they're once again they're making sex jokes. They're drinking. They're talking about their issues, like what you call it, Freddie's got a kid and he's divorced and all that and all that stuff.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Like in the revival, because they had a good couple of seasons. They gave them the regular goofy humor mixed with adult problems, and even Raven's Home did a little bit of that, but they were still on Disney, so they made sure that we're going to talk about. They talked about. They talked about stuff that they talked about in the old show too. Like they talked about education, they talked about race, they talked about they talked a little bit about drugs, they talked a little bit about they talked about divorce and all that and all that stuff. So it was honest. Honestly, I binged all of Raven's Home as it was coming out. I would wait and watch it in chunks, because it was still on Disney, but it would hit Disney Plus at the same day, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I didn't watch any of Raven's Home or iCarly, the new ones. I just haven't. Those are certain shows that I remember watching them. Like I said, my daughter watches it now, so it's like I try to get engaged still, just because of nostalgia and everything like that, just memory. I want to see what happens. If you're going to revamp characters, it's just like writing a book and you got another chapter or whatever. So it's interesting to see, but Kyle, just so we can wrap up Revival, I know we're going to talk about remakes real quick. And of course,
Yep.
guys, I don't know if I said it earlier, but we have our top five favorite movie remakes. So we're definitely going to get into a couple of those. But as far as some of your favorites, just as for me, ones that I like, I mean, there's no denying it. One of my favorite shows of all time, if not my favorite show now, Cobra Kai. Number one.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
I mean, come on, bro. Does it get any better? Like, Cobra Kai may be the best transition show from a 1970s movie that literally took the movie, added to it, made you rethink how you watched it when you watched it back then, and then demographed it into the era of time that it's in, brought in a new cast, related it back, brought everybody from the little girl
that they could
stuck in the damn storm in the second one, bro.
It is hilarious how many people they actually got back for the show and actually putting them in meaningful roles.
For real. It all makes sense. They didn't just bring them in just to what's it called?
Just to do cameos and then that was it.
80s. Cobra Kai was
80s.
Hold on, wait a second. The first Karate Kid
came out in the 80s.
1979?
Nah, like 85, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know why the hell I always think that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm gonna look it up. Fuck that. I ain't gonna just take the L. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, they really did a great job. Now I haven't seen the movie yet. Yes, right. 84. You got it right.
84.
Yep. Yeah, 84 is when it came out. But I haven't seen the new movie yet. But
I haven't seen that either. Planning to.
I've been hearing negative shit about it. I mean, I've been hearing this a lot.
I've been hearing mixed. Some like it. Some are like, same old. But I'm gonna still see it because you know what it is. Because I feel like I gotta finish what I started. That's why.
Oh yeah. I'll watch it just because I've watched everything else and I love the show so much.
I went back before watching Cobra Kai. Went back and watched all 3 films.
Oh yeah.
And then stayed with Cobra Kai up until the end. Now I have to, and I've seen the reboot with Jaden Smith. So I feel like now I have to cap this off.
Yeah, you gotta knock it out, man, for sure. Another one that I really, that's to talk about one that I love, but ones that shockingly I really am not into. I've given it a little bit of a chance, and this show was my favorite show at one point. The Walking Dead, man. The splits with The Walking Dead, Negan and Maggie and Michonne and Rick. Rick is back, and I tried watching that thing. I was going to be into it because one of the worst things The Walking Dead did was have Rick be gone, bro. Rick was such a badass character, man. I was thinking about this shit when I was thinking about this show right now. If you remember back in the early stages of Rick and Shane. If you remember back in the early stages of Rick and fighting the governor at the prison, and bro, Rick was a fucking badass, yo.
Yep.
And it made the show. His character made the fucking show because when he left, you saw the dynamic go down greatly, bro. So those spinoffs, I'm just not into them, yo. I really tried with the Daryl shit in Paris and. Now Negan and them are in New York, and I'm just like, who gives a fuck, man? And
I honestly, I feel like, okay, I know it's based on a long-running comic series. Yeah. I read a little bit of it, but I feel like it probably they could have ended it and then had another spinoff some years later. I think sometimes 4 to 5 seasons.
Yeah,
is good enough.
Pretty good. That's a good run.
Yeah, like 4 to 5 seasons. We don't have to do a whole decade plus. You know what I'm saying?
Strong relationship with forced. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, they did. The whole it didn't make sense for Rick and Michonne. I'm sorry. I do agree with that, and not because of the black and white thing either. It wasn't really there, bro. It would have been way better if they were partners and they just kind of kicked ass together. I think
they were good dynamic.
Friends. Yeah, making them fall in love and all that shit. You didn't need it. You did make that shit. That's where the show started kind of falling into different directions. But yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a lot. Kyle, like you even made me remember that there's a bunch. If you guys are really into these TV show revivals, I mean, you have a couple that are coming up. If you guys used to be fans of Malcolm in the Middle,
Malcolm in the Middle is that
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to what they do with
me
that
too.
because now it's going to be a Disney Plus show, and they got most of the original cast back, so
Yeah,
it's interesting. I give everything a shot.
bro. Come on. You didn't like Malcolm in the Middle, Kyle?
I love Malcolm
I
in the Middle when it was
fucking
out.
love Malcolm in the Middle, Kyle.
I love Malcolm in the Middle when it came out. That's probably gonna be my next binge because I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
Oh
You
man,
know,
I used to watch Malcolm in the Middle was one of my shows that I used to watch when I went to sleep. That was one of my shows that I used to watch, and I used to watch, especially like the first 3 seasons when he was in the Crow Boy class and all that. Bro, listen, Malcolm in the Middle was so damn good.
it was
That
so
was
good,
another
and
classic comedy.
I think that was the first time they were doing single cam shows at the time.
What, like him talking to the camera and shit like that or whatever?
Well, it's like when you can tell the difference between when something's on a stage and they're doing multiple cameras versus when they're just doing a single cam and it has more of a cinematic kind of feel. Like
Gotcha, okay.
watch a sitcom with a laugh track. You'll see what I mean versus just a single camera show. My cousin knows what I'm talking about. We talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah. Because he's definitely into it. I mean, Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, I can't wait to see that revival. And you said another one earlier. Another one that's coming out that I just saw some pictures of. That's of course King of the Hill. Man.
King of the Hill.
Hill.
I've been looking forward to that one since they announced it was coming back.
Yeah.
And because it had been like when they announced it, it was almost like 3 years ago, and we would get like news about it, here and there. But now that it's actually happening and the trailer's out and we have a little synopsis about what's going on and they aged them up, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm interested to see what happened. It was unfortunate to see what was his name? The chief, the
character actor for John Redcorn. Yeah.
John Redcorn, yeah.
We got the news that he passed just a few days ago at this point.
Yeah.
And it was because of some hate stuff. And I do not understand people. I really, I really don't. It ain't none of your business what goes on with his life.
Yeah.
But it had been happening for a long time. They burned his place down. He lost stuff. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Man, I didn't know any of that was happening. So I'm not even sure I still know what you're talking about right now.
It was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff came out after his passing, and because he had been dealing with a lot of homophobia.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It was he had been dealing with that in his own neighborhood for years. And the funny thing, and what I found to be kind of funny, even though he is not the character of John Redcorn at all, it almost felt like it was tailored. It almost felt like it was tailored for him because he's also an activist, He lived in Texas, just like John Redcorn did. Only thing was he wasn't a player like John Redcorn was. So, you know what I'm saying? He was an activist. He was trying to get his, he was trying to do right for his, for his community. And
I got a whole bunch of people calling.
Yeah.
Oh, smartwatch helps that shit out. I think that was how to pub. Yeah, I think he's trying to get me to jump on the show.
I think Zordon's trying to call you, bro. They need you.
Yeah, Zordon. Hey, listen, Zordon. I'm doing the show. I'm not saving the world right now. Cancel saving the world. Do this beeline. But yeah, bro. I mean, that's unfortunate. I didn't really know. Do you know the show that I was actually thinking of earlier? And you just made me remember with King of the Hill. Yeah, I was thinking of That 70s Show.
That 70s show?
That 90s show they came out with.
That 90s show, they should have gave that a chance.
It was a miss for me, bro. I'm sorry.
I feel like with that 90s show, one thing that somebody who reviewed it, his conclusion was a lot of what the show was trying to do pretty much didn't hinge on the kids. It hinged on the nostalgia of the parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Red was classic. He was legendary. But at the same time, even though Kitty and Red, they definitely had a lot of dynamic in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, you still didn't beat like Kelso and all the whole dynamic from the whole cast, man. Eric and Foreman's whole Eric and Foreman, Eric and Donna's relationship, the stuff with Jackie and Kelso and
I will say this though, and I'm gonna die on this hill. Jackie and Kelso should have stayed broken up. Okay, they were a toxic couple. Kelso was always cheating on her. They should have stayed broken up. And even Mila Kunis said at the end she should have ended up with Fez, because at the end of the show she was with Fez.
Yeah, I didn't like that though. You know why? Because she ran through the whole fucking crew, bro. Every dude that was there except for Eric.
I can understand that, but Michael Kelso was a playboy, a cheater, and all that stuff until the very end. Even in the revival, when they come back for that quick little cameo, they say, "Oh, we're getting married again for like the third or fourth time."
Oh yeah,
come on, y'all still haven't learned.
I feel like they put them back together because Hyde couldn't come back. Y'all listen, anything about Hyde? Yeah.
Okay,
Hyde,
you know what,
Masterson,
babe, that might be speaking of toxic, that guy in real life.
Man, what the fuck is that about, bro?
He was hot. Look, dude was a demon in disguise, bro. That's
you know what's crazy, talking about that 70s show, talking about The Walking Dead, and talking about Malcolm in the Middle. All three of those shows have that family, the Masterson family. Christopher Masterson is Francis.
Shoot, really?
Yes, Francis in Malcolm in the Middle. Alana Masterson, she was in Walking Dead. She played what the hell was her name? She what the hell is her name? Damn, I forgot her name. But she played in The Walking Dead. She was with when the governor came to the prison and everything. And then of course Danny Masterson in that 70s show. They're all family. Yeah, they're all brothers and sisters and stuff.
I never knew that.
Yeah, super crazy. Francis and what the hell was that girl's name in Walking Dead? I can't believe I forgot her name. She got killed by Alpha. She was a long-lasting character too. But anyway, listen, guys. So definitely check out the revivals, man. They got some good ones out there. I know remakes and revivals, they get a lot of heat. A lot of people are quick to kind of shun away from them because you don't want to ruin what you've known. But they actually have a lot of context, and some of them are really good, man. Bringing it back, adding more to the story that you love. So give them a shot. We definitely gave you guys a bunch that you can check out. What Ty say? Ty said, "I hate the actor who played Hyde, but he and Jackie were in game. Fight me,
babe. Honestly, you have a point.
Jackie and Hyde's relationship was probably the best, I'd say. Yes, they loved each other, and they had a dynamic to where it wasn't like you said, Kelso was goofy, but Hyde was like they kind of just fell into each other. Like it wasn't anything. Fez was always chasing her. Eric was with Donna, but Hyde was like, stay away from me. You know how the opposites attract. So I agree with that.
I agree. I agree with that. And having like the dude that played Hyde is right where he needs to be. Honestly, I'd bury him under the jail if I could. But as far as the character he played, though, yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah. But guys, listen, we got another part of this, and I'm glad we kind of did it this way because, of course, usually an hour in, we jump into our top 5, and that's where we going right now. And we're going to add to this top 5. We're going to talk about some remakes as we're talking about our top 5 favorite movie remakes. We might talk about a couple of bad ones as well. So this should be a lot of fun. All right, Kyle. What are the chances that we're going to cross over? Because we always get the crossover.
Possibility.
Possible, right?
It happens, and sometimes unexpectedly it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off and start with the number 5 spot in the top 5. Wait a minute. I didn't do my banner, so you guys can know. Top 5 favorite. Where the hell is it at? Oh, here it is. Let me fix it up right here. I was actually when I thought about doing this, the first thing I thought of was just how many remakes there were. And like I said earlier, I didn't realize just how many things were remade that I didn't even know. I thought they were just original, man. So that's definitely another topic. Might have to find out, like, just straight original movies, like without any kind of, book or anything behind them. But top 5 fave remakes, movie remakes. Let's make it clear for everybody watching at home. Thank you guys also so much for following still. You guys have been watching all night. You guys are definitely loyal to the show. I mean, it's incredible, bro, because the whole thing with Facebook right now, I promise to get it fixed next week because I got to figure that out for sure. But I mean, yeah, we still got, everybody watching strong, and I really appreciate you guys. All right, my top 5, starting at number 5, is Dawn of the Dead, baby. Dawn of the Dead is, now, if you know about it, Dawn of the Dead, I'm not talking about Night of the Living Dead. I'm not talking about any of these movies or even the classic Dawn of the Dead from the 70s. That's from the 70s. Rick, correct me if I'm wrong, bro. But I'm pretty sure Dawn of the Dead was 1978, if I'm not mistaken. But they made a remake of Dawn of the Dead in 2004. Yep, Dawn of the Dead was 1978. They made a remake of 2004, which was phenomenal, bro. And I remember I was watching it in the movie theaters with my brother, and we saw it. Of course, it had Vin Rames, it had Mekhi Phifer, who played a really stupid role, and a couple other people, and a lot of cameos from the original Dawn of the Dead. Kyle, I know you don't really do a lot of the
horror films,
but
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it because I've watched a fair share of horror movie behind the scene documentaries.
Yeah.
So yeah, while I don't care for the horror genre as much, I will give respect through the story of how it was made, and I very much appreciate Dawn of the Dead for its legacy. But will I actually sit down? Will I actually sit back and watch it? I don't know.
Yeah. For real. Look, listen, bro. I mean, zombies. It's weird because I've talked to people who really don't like horror, but then they'll still watch zombie flicks. And I don't know if it's just because it's weird. Like zombies kind of have their own kind of cult following. So it's like, you won't necessarily maybe classify those as horror movies so much for some reason. They're still fucking horror, I think. But my bad, I'm thinking of Night of the Living Dead was 60. Yeah, you are right about that. That was 60, 67 or 8 or something like that. But Dawn of the Dead, the original one came out in 1978, and it was really goofy, but it was also really good. Stuck in a shopping mall, and they're fighting zombies and stuff like that, and they're in a shopping mall, so they have a whole bunch of equipment at their damn arsenal, and it's just a really, really, really good movie, man. The way they did the remake, it just brought a lot of life to it, and it was hard because if they would have messed up the original, it would have been terrible because the original was so damn good. One of my favorite zombie movies to this day. I'm trying to cue my damn pictures, but they're not really playing too well, so I'll just keep it moving. Kat, what you got for number 5, yo?
Number 5, we got Disney's Jungle Book.
Oh, the Jungle Book. Okay, the live action.
The live action. Out of all the live actions that they have done thus far, Jungle Book is still the one I will actually go back to and watch again. And the reason being is because they're not trying to redo the entire movie the way it was done in the the way it was done in the original animated one. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. I think the problem with a lot of Disney remakes is they're basically trying to do everything shot for shot, but change what they feel like should be changed based on whatever. I don't know. Like if you're gonna do these remakes, don't just retread old water because it has not worked for you. If you're gonna do these remakes, bring something different to the table. Like right now, Lilo and Stitch is having its stint again on the big screen. And it's doing well, but some people are upset about certain changes. And other than that, it's like I'm not hearing like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. unlike the the Snow White remake, which
that girl single-handedly tanked that fucking movie.
but it wasn't even just,
It probably was a great movie and shit.
The movie just stunk. Like
it was bad too. Oh, okay.
Her thoughts on on how it was before did not help matters. Whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's a bad movie, it's a bad movie.
Oh no, hands down. You're absolutely right.
All
you heard about was just her, so that's why it's like I didn't even.
Oh yeah, because she was the star, so she was all over, and plus she was saying things that were controversial. So of course people were going to go after her. I'm like, listen, it's not her.
Day off. Yeah, I don't know. With Day Off, I don't know what that means. With final part of the trilogy, I know you had Dawn of the Dead. You had Night of the Living Dead. You had Dawn of the Dead. And you had Day of. Okay, I think that's what you're saying. Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Day of the Dead. Even the old one, all of that. We're gonna get to them. We're gonna get to them because we got to get to this list because we definitely have a bunch on here. But yeah, the live action Jungle Book was phenomenal. You're absolutely right. I remember seeing that in the movie theaters. It was actually a really good movie. It was, as you can see, it wasn't like super animated. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how Lion King wasn't super animated, but I think the thing that made it different here, it was, I don't know, maybe it was just more character that was had by the animals in the Jungle Book.
And you had, I gotta give it up to the kid that was playing Mowgli, because for the most part you're the only actor on a giant soundstage with a lot of CG effects, so you gotta make it seem believable. So I got it, I gotta give it. I gotta give it up for that alone, and it was a good watch. Plus, and I think we've said this before. Scarlett Johansson playing the snake Ka was a very interesting choice.
I didn't even know that. So you just dropped knowledge on me. I don't even know. Look at the old Jungle Book.
Let's put it this way. She got a really nice voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson got one of those classic voices. Jungle Book was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I loved that. Was one of my favorite Disney movies when I was a kid. And then as I got older, I grew up out of it. But it's still a great movie. All right, so the Jungle Book
movie. Yep.
Let me ask you. Let's go ahead and interrupt a little bit of the countdown, the top 5, real quick. Yep. Let me ask you, guys, what's one of the worst remakes? Doesn't have to be Disney or anything like that. What's one of the worst remakes that you've ever seen? That off the top of your dome, what's one of the worst remakes you were like, man, why the hell did they even try with this movie? Gonna remake it?
Probably okay. This might be a cheat, but the Mortal crap. It's either the Mortal Kombat remake or probably one of the mini Disney one of the mini Disney remakes, man. I honestly I give props to the Jungle Book and a little bit to the Maleficent film, because at least it was telling the story from a different perspective. Okay. But I just don't care for them like that. They don't really need to exist. They feel like just cash grabs, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I definitely understand. I mean, they've done so many. I mean, you definitely have a lot of options to choose from. I know you ain't going to get every single one right. I remember I saw they did Dumbo, and I'm like, okay, bro. And the Pinocchio one was like, what the fuck am I watching? I didn't
even bother.
I tried to let my kids watch it, and I was just watching it like, what the hell is this?
I know that they're also trying to use this to bring another generation into it, but I'm not gonna lie, it just loses something. You keep
how much time you got? How much time you got, buddy?
Oh boy!
I said the last Airbender movie. Oh, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
Oh man, you know what? One good thing I will say about that film. It got my sister into the TV show.
Oh yeah.
That movie made my sister an Avatar fan after watching the show. So so that's the only thing I really will give them props for. But
well, let me tell you what mine is. You want to hear what mine is? Check this shit out. Listen, I got a couple, all right? But let's start with this one.
Yep.
Child's Play. Chucky, the newest version, and you know who Chucky? You know who his voice was?
Yep.
Fucking Luke Skywalker.
Mark Hamill. Yep. Mark Hamill.
Every bit of this shit is wrong. If you saw the Child's
Luke
Play
Skywalker,
movie,
aka the Joker, he was also the Joker in the original Batman animated series.
Classic Joker.
You know? But
did you see it? Did you see the Child's Play remake, bro?
No, I just knew about it. I just knew that, it was AI is going crazy. And I'm like, you know what?
Oh my God.
It's already,
that's like half it.
It's already happening. I don't.
Listen, bro. Hey, Kyle, as a matter of fact, that you said that real quick, I'm going to break this little segment up. We are definitely going to be doing a show recently about, coming up soon about AI. And talking about this stuff. I have a lot of videos. I got a lot of videos. But we're going to be talking some shit. They should have learned their lesson when the live action Jungle Books in the 90s were. They did the Jungle Book remake like 4 times.
A few times, matter of fact. Yeah.
They even had one on Netflix, I think, around the same time as that.
Because that was supposed to be that was supposed to be closer to the actual book. So
that Child's Play remake was the worst. Child's Play remake was maybe one of the worst remakes that I personally have ever seen of all time. The Chucky learned how to stab people. At first, let's start at the beginning.
Hit it.
Chucky was made by a disgruntled worker. That was getting worked too hard.
Oh boy!
Put some bullshit in him and said, "Oh, I want you to kill people." And then this motherfucker started trying to kill people with lawnmowers and lawn darts in a hardware store. One of the worst. The way he learned how to stab people was because he was watching somebody make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean,
what?
Do I have to go on? You want me to go on? You want me to continue? Did you see the original Child's Play? The first one?
I did.
Listen,
that's
to call that fucking movie Child's Play after watching the original Chucky, bro. The classic scene when his mom finally was like, "Wait a minute, is Andy telling the truth? My son." And when she caught him and she opened that back and saw that the batteries fell out the box, bro. Listen, man, one of the most classic horror movie scenes of all time. Chucky came to life. Talk to me or I'll throw you in a fire. And Chucky said, "You stupid bitch, I'm gonna kill you." Everyone's like, "Oh shit."
Oh, man.
One of the most classic fucking movies.
Oh my God.
And then they did that remake, like, craziness, bro. Don't forget who we did it for. Bro, we did it for The Rock. I actually don't remember. What did we do it for? I don't even remember. Listen, me and my wife saw that shit after we got out the water park. And I think I checked out. I don't even remember how that shit ended all the way. Talk about a movie that I walked out of. I'm surprised I didn't walk out of that shit. That shit was. Oh, this is for 2. Bro, listen. I'm about to shut the show off right now. I'm telling you right now. I will fucking go head to toe with anybody who wants to have a showdown of what is the worst remake. I'm gonna pull that bitch out like it's a super supreme magic card. And listen, I win the war. Child's Play, I'm saying it now. Child's Play may be the worst remake of all fucking time. And when I saw people actually saying, "No, I liked it," Rick, you just said it in a nutshell. This motherfucker said this is for Tupac when he was killing some. Bro, listen, I can't. I don't want to talk no more.
I have so many questions.
Let's go back to the fucking countdown because
I think it was your turn.
Yeah,
I think it was your turn, dude.
That is crazy, bro. I forgot about that part. Damn, that's bad. All right. Number four. Listen. Number 4, I got my 4th favorite, speaking, like I said, Dawn of the Dead was number 1. And Night of the Living Dead. The remake. Not the original. The original was pretty good. The original was pretty good, but of course, it was done like in the 60s, late 60s, and black and white. And it was very, still like, that era. It was a lot of, and they was fighting for the gun. And you just saw they were like, "You just do a little dance." But the next version that was put out, and I believe 1990, with of course our boy Tony Todd, one of the masters of horror and everything like that or whatever, was done in 1990, and it was just a legit remake. and it was done really well. The zombies looked amazing. The story was improved. The Barbara who was in the first one, she was all scary and she's sitting in the thing. Barbara became like a badass. She was holding it down. The remake was phenomenal. I'm trying to pull it up right now. But have you seen it? Have you seen either one, Kyle?
Night of the like I said, familiar with it. Have not seen it.
Okay, yeah. The one that came out, after in the 90s was just so well done, bro. Man, this is all showing. Let me see the 1990. There we go. I know she's like a legend now. Everybody goes to her and talks to her. I forgot what the hell her name is. Let me pull this shit up. Everything's taking so long right now. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Where's the screen? There's the screen. Here's the thing. Here's coming. There we go. All right, yeah. So this was the remake, and if you remember, you had Koopa. Open that damn door, Koopa. He was trying because he was trying to get in the cellar, and his daughter was the cellar. Tony Todd played. This was my, and I think probably a lot of people, introduction. Besides Candyman. But this was my introduction to Tony Todd. Before I saw this movie before I saw Candyman. So
oh wow.
Yeah, this is where I first was introduced to Tony Todd, bro. And of course, it was just a really good movie. It was done well. The zombies looked really good. The story went really well. It pretty much, stuck to the original, but they just improved it a lot. So yeah, phenomenal, bro. Definitely one of my favorite remakes of all time. All right,
man. Yeah.
Horror is my shit, bro. Yo, Kyle, I'm telling you right now, we got a horror episode coming up soon. We got to do one, man. I know it's not.
We got to definitely do one because I'm here, because I'm here to learn. You know what I'm saying? The two most active people in the chat right now, they both family to me, and well, like one of them is literally my cousin, but they are and my girlfriend Ty, they're horror fans. They're both horror fans. You know what I'm saying? Man. So they got for your I know they'll definitely be interested. I'm thinking I'm putting one together. We don't see, but what you got for your number 4? You know what? This is more like it's one of those things you kind of like I didn't know was a remake, so technically this counts.
Okay.
Technically this counts. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is a remake from a book.
It's based on a book. They made a movie before this one, and but this one is the one that everybody knows. I gotta go with Wizard of Oz.
That's okay. And you know something? The Wizard of Oz is one of those movies that has been addressed throughout generations at this point. Like, whether it be the clicking your heels 3 times, whether it be there's the no place like home, the follow the yellow brick road reference.
Oh, the yellow brick road.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird that we still are, referencing this movie, and a lot of people kind of know it completely different now, whether it was, they had Oz, the Great and Powerful, whatever, with James Franco, which was actually a really, really good movie. And I'm not even a Wizard of Oz fan or anything, but like that was actually really well. And then now you have the depiction of Wicked, where they have the, Ariana Grande, and they have the musical, and people are loving it because they can't wait for the damn sequel to come out, coming soon. Because hit me up for the horror one. All right, they got horror fan. I know horror is a hell of a genre, man. But what did you like about the Wizard of Oz? Like, what kind of kept you in the realm? That's an old movie. That's like what, 1940 or some shit?
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna hit you up for the horror one. He actually Cuz says he actually read the book. It's wildly different from the movie. It definitely, it definitely is. Like a lot of key things, like for example, in the original book, the slippers were, the MacGuffin, the slippers, they were silver, they weren't ruby, right?
Okay.
I forgot exactly why they made those changes.
Probably to make them pop on camera. I mean, that's
maybe,
what I would.
You know what? Maybe I have. I have no idea. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably. That's what I would think.
Oh, but I think the craziest thing is, there's a scene. For some reason, the Scarecrow has a gun. for some reason, the Scarecrow has I think it's a revolver, and it shows up for like one quick scene, and They did a speaking of a remake, they did a crossover with Tom and Jerry, right? They, dude, you have no idea. It's the weirdest series of films. Tom and Jerry did crossovers with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They basically remade the movie animated, and with Tom and Jerry as in the background. Like they're there and they're just doing Tom and Jerry stuff, but they're in the middle of these classic films, and it doesn't really make sense, but whatever. But yeah, for some reason, the Scarecrow, the guy with no brains, is carrying a gun when they're in the woods.
Shit, he's smart. That sounds smart. They switched to Ruby Cat's color movie. They switched to Ruby because color movie were not new when it came out. Yeah, I figured that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
And the Tin Man's origin is wild as fuck too. Oh damn. Yeah. I was never a Wizard of Oz guy like that. I think I watched it. I've watched it a couple times, but in between, it's like I've been really young. The Wizard of Oz is one of those movies that I'd watch now because I haven't watched it since I was like 7, and then I'd catch mad references and shit that I never would have picked up, until I was older.
Mm-hmm.
So
the witch used to scare me.
Yeah, it used to scare you.
They used to scare me as a kid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit, I was watching The Exorcist and shit. So none of that shit scared me. I was scared of other shit. But all right, number 4, Kyle got Wizard of Oz. All right, we getting into the high numbers now. The Wicked Witch was on Sesame Street. That's right, yeah. She was on Sesame Street.
Banned for being scary. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Damn, her and Katy Perry. Damn. Bouncing them boobies on. Yeah, hell, Elmo. What do you want to talk about? Oh no, bitch! Like, they got something in common, yo. They got something in common, bro. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the number 3. Listen, the number 3 is gonna be real fun. Hopefully, you guys remember this one. The Longest Yard, baby. This is one of my favorite.
Yard.
I love this damn movie, man. I remember this is 2003, I believe. Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. I mean, the cast is fucking legendary. Nelly,
D12,
not Michael Strahan. I don't know, a whole bunch of fucking people. Goldberg, D12. Yeah, you had so many people. Of course, Burt Reynolds coming back, Terry Crews, Stone Cold, Kevin Nash. The cast was legendary. Let me also say this, yo. Back in the day, MTV Films. Yo, can we give them a round of applause, bro? They put out some great fucking films, yo.
You know what? They did.
They started with Joe's Apartment, and then they just started getting just tossing out You Got Served, even though it was cheesy as shit, the dancing and stuff like that, phenomenal. Longest Yard. There was a bunch of MTV films that were just really good. But yeah, I love this damn movie. You saw it, right, Kyle?
The Longest Yard. Yeah, I never saw the original. But I did see the Adam Sandler one because I'm an Adam Sandler fan. Yeah. Loved, and loved the movie. Absolutely, absolutely loved the movie.
Just funny as hell, man. Just giant dudes. A lot of comedians that were in it that just made it even funnier. MMA fighters. This shit was so damn good, bro. And it was also one of the movies where it was also still a good storyline. Mm-hmm. They were building up. They were trying to first the asshole guards and. They were like, yo, you should, we were basically just doing this just to make our team look good. And they were like, nah, man, we about to dominate y'all. Mm-hmm. And they did it. So their early 2000s movies were gems. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got to give some credit to MTV. MTV is killing it.
Yeah.
But Longest Yard, man. I loved it. I still love it to this day. Every time I catch it, I watch it just while thinking about it if I want a good laugh. When big what the hell is his name? Marvin Sapp, the MMA fighter.
Yep.
He was a goofball. I think he broke into my nose. He drunk solid. Fucking crazy, yeah. The Longest Yard. Yeah, I love that damn movie.
That was a good pick. I wouldn't have thought about that. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I was looking for ones that I really wanted to put on here. There's a lot of remakes that I actually like. Mm-hmm. So, but what you got, man? What you got for your number 3?
Yeah, number 3 shout out to my lady in the audience,
Okay.
and that's Cinderella, 1998.
Cinderella. Miss
Cinderella,
Cinderella.
starring
With
Brandy. Yeah.
Brandy. Oh, and Diana Ross. Oh shit.
Yes.
That's back in the day, bro.
That is like my favorite version of Cinderella.
Man, I'm gonna spell this shit super wrong, but hey, listen. I went to public school, damn it. All right, here we go. Cinderella. I think I got it right. Cinderella. Okay, with Brand. Oh, 98. Let me put the real
Yeah.
shit in it. People don't think it's the mouse version or whatever. Now I remember this movie. This came out, 98. I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea. I definitely wasn't involved. But give me a little backstory. Like, did it stay true to the cartoon, or was it kind of just whatever?
This was okay. So
Tracy Morgan. That's right.
so
The Longest Yard.
yeah.
Tracy
So
Morgan.
they had so Cinderella had been remade and redone a bunch of times,
Yeah.
right? And this one was a made for TV version on the Wonderful World of Disney back in the 90s, right?
Okay,
And as much as we talk about diversity and inclusion now, this was probably the most diverse cast I had ever seen for Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? So it was beautiful, and it was a musical. But I'm a Brandy fan. I was a Whoopi Goldberg fan too.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like watching them together, and it was just just Whitney Houston up in here.
Yeah, Whitney Houston. Yes, right.
You couldn't you win. You win
Yeah.
with the cast alone. You win, and not only was it a great cast. They came back. Brandy has come back a couple of times for the Disney Descendants line of films. They she played Cinderella, and she played Cinderella again. So I count that as canon, and it was beautiful.
And a white man had an Asian son, right? Oh, he throwing shade.
Look, because people were related to people, and it did not matter. Like no one cared that their son was Asian and they were white, and it was
just trying to get some ethnicity in that movie.
It was just a good movie, and they didn't have to try. It was just a good movie. That's it.
That's what's up. Hey, listen, that's what's up. I can't speak on it because I remember this was being on. I remember I was at one of my dad's friend's house, and they were all watching. They were all collected in front of the TV, and I was the one in the back playing in the room.
It was for Whitney Houston and Brandy.
That probably was what it was. Because it was a big deal when it came out in the 90s. So I do remember that. They made it. It came out on like NBC or something like that. So
yep,
I remember that. But okay, got Cinderella, 1998. Okay, don't let me crossing. Kyle.
I think this is the first time. I think this is the first one we've done. We've done a bunch of these, and there's no crossover so far.
No crossover yet. So we got 2 more to go. And now I'm curious. I waited for this one right here because I wanted to get your opinion because you said something earlier, and I wanted to see if you feel the same way about this movie. And that is number 2, Aladdin, baby. Okay. Aladdin, the remake for Aladdin with Will Smith and I know what's her name? Naomi. What's her name? What the hell's her name? The girl
she played the Pink Ranger. She played the Pink Ranger. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Naomi, not Naomi Watts. It's something, Naomi something. But bro, to me, this was the best Disney remake there ever was.
You think so?
Like, to be honest with you, it's probably my favorite Disney movie.
Okay.
I honestly think that the live version Aladdin, I like it better than I like the cartoon. And the cartoon Aladdin was my favorite Aladdin. It was my favorite Disney movie of all time. How you feel about it?
I feel indifferent. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was more interested in the romance between the genie and the handmaid than I was with what was going on in the actual
Jasmine
plot.
and Aladdin.
Because a lot of it was pretty much the same plot, and they made Jasmine a bit more. They tried to make her more of a badass, but mostly in her head. But here's the thing, though, she already was. Like if you like go back and watch the original film, she was taking her life into her own hands. She didn't want to get married to just anybody. she wanted to explore she wanted to get to know the people more. And then, and this is coming from somebody who also watched the, this is also from somebody
Rick, what do you feel, Rick? You feel like you was feeling Aladdin, or you was knocking it too? Aladdin was fucking good, man.
I'm not saying it didn't have its, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy any part of it, but
bro, the scene when the Prince Ali scene, I'm telling you right now, bro. The Prince Ali scene, the fucking Cave of Wonders scene when he's singing the original, him getting the lamp. This was like the best production of any Disney movie that I saw, as far as like keeping the music, keeping the
trying to keep the feel of the original aside
the magic
from
of the shit. Yeah, for real, because everything else was so dry. Like, we talk about the Lion King. The Lion King was fucking dry, yo. The Lion King was dry as shit. Like, even the good music that they had on it, they really didn't do a lot of colorfulness with it. Little Mermaid too. Like, Little Mermaid, another one that had amazing music, amazing whether it was Under the Sea, even Part of That World or whatever that shit was called. Yep. The Aladdin remake was mid because I love the original trilogy altogether. Listen, bro, I'm shocked, bro. I'm telling you right now, this fucking movie right here, I thought, I do get what you mean about Jasmine and that whole, they got to play the narrative. Oh, she's just a woman that doesn't need to be tied down. And no, I can do for myself. I can be a king too. And all shit. Whatever. I don't give a fuck about that.
But a lot of that was in her head.
Yeah, why? Bro, singing to herself because...
Why that scene? Why are you gonna have her do this epic song about being a badass and all that stuff, and that's all in her head, and the last moment you give her is at the end of the movie?
Yeah. You know how that shit's going with them trying to do the narrative. I thought Will Smith looked good. I thought he did. Of course, Robin Williams was great being animated, but I thought Will killed it. He added his own kind of like hip hop kind of style to it. This shit was dope to me, bro. I don't know.
I would have been cool with, because knowing that like they already spoiled the fact that
he's in the heart of the
he gave like I get it. Will Smith was doing his Will Smith thing. This is why like I was more interested in the chemistry he had with the handmaid.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. No. Hey, listen, bro. I mean, yes, it's definitely. With Disney, man, we grew up watching it, so it's definitely hard to, pull away from certain things that I liked from back in the past, and that's why it's like, I don't know, I'm not the biggest cartoon dude, so it's like it's hard when I'm trying to watch.
Oh, you got three cartoon lovers in the chat right now. So.
Yeah. So it's like I be trying to see shit, and when I get stuff, what Ty said, Will Smith acting what's good is slaps. Yeah, I liked it, man. I like that. I like how they did the transition. But I definitely can see, like, there's a lot of the Disney movies that I really just wasn't feeling with Cinderella and all that shit. So, yeah, but Cinderella, I think Beauty and the Beast was a super hit, a super miss for me. I wasn't feeling that. I know a lot of other people were saying they like that too. So I definitely get it. I mean, it's everybody. I fuck with Aladdin. Yep. But what's your number 2, bro?
Number 2, Super Mario Brothers.
Oh shit! All right, so you're talking about the video game one that they just put out now?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be my number 1, but then I thought about it for a little bit. But yeah, that is like as far as remakes go, this is probably the most accurate and well animated. And at first, I wasn't too keen on Chris Pratt playing Mario, but he did all right. You know what I'm saying?
Good job. Yeah, that movie. And we just rewatched that recently too.
The story is fun. The story is fun. It made me nostalgic for the game. It also holds another special place in my heart because it's the first movie that me and Ty watched together.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Got a little history there. But let me ask you, because we talking about remakes. So you're talking about Super Mario Brothers, and I mean, I guess you can categorize it as a remake.
Technically,
let's push it back to the original if we're gonna talk about it. John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. Yo, listen, I don't care what nobody says. Fuck that shit. I was watching this movie back in the day, and this was the shit to me, bro. I loved it when I was a kid. Like I get it now. I definitely get it now. Like it's like you can see it's very campy. It's like nothing to do with the story. Like it's kind of just all over the fucking place.
It is all over the place. Fun fact, if you didn't already know this, they were trashed the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
They were drunk the whole freaking movie.
Look at them. You just tell.
He was drunk the whole movie. Like we know this is trash, so we might as well just get this over with.
Yeah. I remember when it came. I remember going to the movie theaters to watch it. Everything. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The new Super Mario movie was great, man. It was super great. And I know we've talked about Sonic on here as well. Sonic was, in my opinion, one of the best video game films of all time. Sonic 2, yeah, that shit was incredible. The third one was okay. The first one was phenomenal, but the second one was just hands down, just glory. But yeah, the Super Mario movie was really good as well. I really enjoyed that with the fight scene with him and Donkey Kong. They played it really well. Everybody played their character well. And of course they're gonna have more, they're gonna bring in more people. Hopefully we see Yoshi, we see a couple other things from their world. And yeah, man, I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it, man. There's a lot of awesome stuff that's why I'm saying, like, all remakes aren't bad, man. There's been a lot of new stuff that we've watched, and give it a chance, man. Given technology and stuff. All right, guys, we at it. We here. Everybody get ready. Listen, y'all ain't ready for my number one. Nobody.
I want to know what your number one is. Notice we did not cross over in that one bit.
Didn't. Nah, we did. I know we're not going to cross over on this one. But you ready?
Yeah.
My number one favorite remake that I can honestly say I really thought about it is it, baby. Now, if y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you should know what I'm talking about because this is a classic. It horror movie, Stephen King. And I'm talking about the first one. I'm not even talking about the second one. This movie, to this day, when I was watching it in the movie theaters, and I'm a fucking horror movie lover, I was like, damn, this might be one of my favorite movies ever. Like when I said that shit when I was watching it in the theater, I was like, damn, this movie right here may be one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It was so well done. As far as just from the opening scene to the like the story, like everything, the kids, the Losers Club, just every bit of the story was told so well. And of course, the dynamic, the creepiness, everything that they did with this shit was phenomenal, yo. The one scene when the kids were in the garage and they were watching the slides, and he just kept like moving his face, and you saw the hair getting out of his face, and it kept cutting in, cutting out, and then all of a sudden he was just gigantic, popping out of the screen. Bro, when we were in the theater, like this lady that was sitting in front of us, she super kicked the two people that was watching it. I forgot what part it was. But one part, he jumped out and she super kicked the shit out of the two people because she screamed and kicked back. And I ain't never saw nobody do no shit like that in the movie. Not even The Ring. The Ring was the last place I remember seeing people. That bitch came on the TV. People were losing their mind in the movie theaters. That shit was crazy. But thank God they listened to the internet for Sonic. Yeah, no, for sure. They fixed Sonic.
For sure.
They definitely, because his little eyes, that shit looked weird. Yeah, man, I was generally creeped out watching that one. Yeah, it was phenomenal, bro. It was definitely really good. The story was good. All the dynamic, and not for nothing, the kids made this shit good, bro. The kids, the cast were so good, bro. And but did you ever see it or did you pass it by? I know you.
I saw the trailers.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck that! You ain't catching me."
I saw the trailer. Oh man, let me tell you something. Bro. Let me tell you something. Before this movie came out, there was a bunch of reports of random clowns just popping up places, right? And as someone who used to be afraid of clowns, back when I was, when I was a kid, I got over the fear by the time I was a teenager. But still, I did not need to feel like I was at a freaking Juggalo concert. You feel me? So It wasn't for me.
The opening scene. Let me tell you guys. I'm gonna paint a picture, and I know this is for everybody who has watched it. The opening scene where the little boy is talking to his brother. It's all rainy day. I'm going to find my little boat now. Everything's fine. When he dropped that boat in there, and then you see Pennywise in the damn sewer, his eyes are glowing, and it's just dark. And they having a whole conversation for like 4 minutes, bro. They getting to know each other. It's a great scene. Everything's kind of nice and cool. And a little bit, he went to reach in to grab that boat. When that motherfucker took his arm and opened his whole jaw, showing the teeth, and bit that shit. When I tell you, I never, ever to this day heard, besides maybe Endgame, when Captain America caught that Molior, because I was one of the loudest motherfuckers. When Captain America caught Molior, you saw the people was using it. I was crazy in that bitch, yo. But when I saw Georgie get his arm bitten off, when I tell you that place erupted like we were getting robbed, yo. That place went fucking crazy. It was a madhouse. And then if you remember, like Georgie, he fell down, and then you saw the arm reach out of the thing and grab him from the air view. Bro, the theater was losing their shit. That was one of the greatest times I ever had in the movies in my fucking life.
Because the energy, y'all were sharing that same,
It was so damn good, bro. At one point, he had opened the refrigerator. They were in the house. They were looking for him, trying to defeat him. And he opened the refrigerator. He all came, twisted all out. He said, "Time to float." He started walking over to the kid. He was just laying down. He's just walking over to him, all creepy. Bro, it was, listen, I'm about to go watch that shit immediately. I'm about to go watch that shit as soon as I get done with the show. It was so damn good. My number one spot, yo. My number one spot. All right, Kyle. I know you ain't got it up there, so we ain't cross over this time.
No, not this time. This is a rare moment.
For real.
We've been doing this show for
a while now, man.
Yeah, for a while now, and we cross over pretty much every time. But this time, there's no crossover. Number one for me, the modern Godzilla films.
Oh, okay. Godzilla. All right, so you're talking about
it's Godzilla -1. It's it's legendary Godzilla, and it's there's another film that came out called Shin Godzilla in 2016.
Okay.
I would definitely suggest watching that one.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. I know Godzilla -1. That was a phenomenal movie.
-1 will be on the top of my list for a while.
Yeah,
like I got homeboys that are bigger Godzilla fans than me, but honestly, that has got to be on the top of my list. From the fact that it's a remake to what it was talking about, going back to its roots, to to the to the acting, to the feel of it. I had to put it on the list, man.
Let me ask you, what about because you said modern day Godzilla movies. I know you're talking about of course Godzilla -1, the ones that you said. But what about like the Godzilla universe that they're doing now, like with him versus King Kong?
Honestly, I feel like they're having fun with it. I'm glad that we could find I'm glad that we could find a happy medium, because as far as like Americanizing Godzilla, but because I remember Godzilla from 1998, and I like the cartoon version,
the one from 1998 was just, that shit was just a fun movie because he looked goofy. When you look at him now and you look back and remember how big that shit was with Taco Bell, that's nostalgia right there.
Yeah, but, for real.
Yeah, it was definitely very goofy, man. But I had fun. Watching it. I still watch that every now and then. I haven't watched it in a while. But it was still a fun movie with Matthew Broderick, and that was a fun movie. Nobody died except on the fucking Godzilla walking and falling in between his toes and shit.
Oh man.
All his babies. I was like, damn, this shit is crazy. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. They're supposed to be doing another one too. One after -1.
I think both we're getting ready for a supernova, because they're gonna do another Godzilla and Kong supernova, and
lizard song.
That's
right, with the Chihuahua.
Don't forget the lizard.
Yeah, when he was trying to capture Godzilla. with the gordita or whatever it was
Mhm.
underneath the box. Yeah, that was classic shit, bro. That
Man.
was classic, man.
Yeah, but honestly, yeah, that's my list. I do have one
Awesome.
honorable
Great
mention
list.
though.
Yeah, sure.
I do have one honorable mention, and that's Love Don't Cost a Thing.
That's one of the ones that I saw in the list that I was shocked to see that was a remake.
Yeah,
That
it's
was a
from
good movie. I like that movie.
the original movie was called Can't Buy Me Love,
Okay.
right? They're both titled from songs, and it's basically a note for note, except a bit more, except for a bit more modernized,
Okay, yeah, I didn't know it was an actual song. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, I would suggest watch it, and you'll see what I mean by beat for beat, including the fact that the main character's a nerd, so
Okay.
yeah, watch
good.
it. It's a pretty classic 80s film, but then when I'd say it was one of Nick Cannon's it's one of my favorite roles from Nick Cannon besides Drumline.
Thank you, Ty. Yeah. Drumline is my shit, bro. I love Drumline.
Thank you, baby.
Something every now and then, man. Nick Cannon, talented guy, very talented guy. I mean, let's give him credit. Guy made an empire, out of his acting career.
Mm-hmm.
He did his thing, man. Gave us a lot of good classic entertainment over the years.
Yep.
And gave a lot of women, children. Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's all you can ask for from a motherfucker, right? Like,
he can write comedy. He can, because he was like one of the youngest writers on All That and Kenan and Kel back in the day.
That's right.
Before he got his own, before he got his own show. So he can write comedy. He can make us laugh. He can make us think. But just like when he's rapping, he's like hit and miss.
Oh so. Leave the music alone, bro. But Kyle, man, another great show, bro. Definitely feels glad to be back. We missed last week. Guys, if you don't know, I'm having a baby over here. So, we transitioning over here. We getting everything ready. Thank you, man. I mean, I'm definitely excited. It's a lot closer. But I'm definitely also stressed out because I got a lot of shit I'm over here trying to do.
Of course.
And also, guys, like I said, I do apologize once again about, the Facebook issue. I am going to get to the bottom of it. I didn't think it was still going to be an issue today, but I'm definitely going to figure out what's going wrong. It's definitely something with the settings. I don't know. Ever since StreamYard has started this thing where they're basically putting like a ad kind of in our streams. Oh. I think that's the reason why things are happening. So I'm going to take that shit out and try to figure out if that's the reason. I'll do some tests. But Kyle, what you got going, bro? You got anything going for the rest of the week or anything?
I'm dropping a new A for Abled episode tomorrow afternoon. So, and I got more coming down the pipeline with great conversations with some great people. And awesome. Thanks everyone for everyone for their support. Remember that that mental health matters. And man, it's a lot of us have our own stories. And we are the ones that have our own narrative and everything. Don't let anybody else tell you don't matter, because you do. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your difference is or anything like that. Your story deserves to be told. If you want a place to do that, A for Able is the place to do that.
There you go. Definitely check them out, guys. Definitely a great show. I appreciate you, Kyle, coming on every week, man. I have a lot of fun with these episodes.
It is very fun.
Yes, bro. You definitely make the show as well, brother. But if you guys want to know, just a head start. Kyle didn't even know this, but I think next week we're gonna be talking R&B, baby. We hitting music roots.
Okay.
And we're gonna be talking R&B.
Let's go.
Yeah, I got motivated today by my favorite R&B artist of all time. And if you want to know who that is, you have to wait and watch next week to see what happens.
All right.
We're going to be doing top 5 favorite R&B singers.
Top 5 favorite R&B singers. Gotcha.
That's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great show. But Kyle, we out, bro. And people of the Beeline, definitely going to tell you in closing to stay true, stay positive, pay attention, baby. And we're going to be back next week. Catch us tomorrow. Well, no, catch us end of the week. End of the week for us right here. So stay true, stay positive, pay attention, guys. See you next week. We out.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the Beeline Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course, the Beeline Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course, subscribe with that bell button for the notifications so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Let's go!